on the beat, baby.
Hello viewers from around the world, this is your boy Kevin McCoy and this is the Nude Cuisine Show, and beyond the Nude Cuisine Show we redefine nude as nutritious, ultimate delicacy experience. We have a very special guest by name Christopher, all the way from the United States of America. And if you guess it, where we find ourselves today, we are here at Silver Shells Fitness and Wellness Center. So if you are looking for a well-defined body, look no further but to register with Silver Shell Fitness and Wellness Center. Is located off Malam Kaswa Road. And guys, you are going to get the body that you want. Over to you, Chris.
Nude Cuisine. Nude Cuisine. Nude Cuisine with Kevin McCoy.
Hey, my name is Christopher Campbell. I am the guest chef for this week's episode of Nude Cuisine. I am originally from Ohio, but moved to New York City a number of years ago and established my own personal training business called Morphosis, and I'm also a dancer, but now I'm a choreographer. And the name of my dance company is Grace Rising Dance. Today we're going to be making an open-faced omelet called Frittata. It's from Spain, and you would normally use the ingredients that you had left over, and then you would put it in the eggs. Some of those ingredients might be potatoes, but we're not going to actually use potatoes today because I have none left over, and they would take some time to cook. The frittata is high in nutrition, it's protein, it's vegetables, a little cheese. We're going to add some red pepper in there and a little onion for flavor. So let's get started.
Nude Cuisine with Kevin McCoy.
So our ingredients for the frittata is going to be 6 eggs, which I beat. Add just a little water in it. You don't really want to add milk to the eggs because the weight of the milk will make the eggs heavy. So by adding just a little water to it, keeps the egg a little lighter. I put red pepper in there for some heat, salt, and pepper. Plenty of black pepper. Baby spinach. But this is about, you know how spinach sautés. You're going to use a whole pound of spinach and you get 2 ounces it seems. So this here is about 8 ounces of spinach. This is 4 ounces of chopped ham, smoked. We have yellow tomatoes. These are heirloom tomatoes, so they have a nice flavor. You want to use a good tomato in all your recipes. We have brie cheese, and we have red onion, which I'm going to saute first before we actually put it in the frittata. You want to get the onion nice and sauteed. You want to have it nice and tender, and it's going to release some nice sweetness and a sharpness in there. And of course, salt and pepper, red pepper flakes, and then I'm going to use some parsley also in the dish for a little completion. Just a little bit of oil to the skillet. I'm using a wrought iron skillet because you know what, they just cook fast. They keep a nice heat. They're adorable. I highly recommend you get one if you don't have one. So we've got it kind of hot. We want to add our red onions. Your heat is at medium low, because you're not trying to stir fry anything. We're gonna let this saute until it's translucent. And just want to keep your onion sauteing at a low temperature. And I'm gonna go ahead while that's sauteing and give this ham a nice flavor by adding it right in there with the onion. And then I'm going to add a little salt to get the sweetness out of the onion and some flavor. And of course, a little black pepper, just a little bit. You don't want to turn up the heat too high. Now we're just going to add the egg to the skillet. And the bottom of that's going to cook. I've already preheated my broiler in the oven because we're going to have to cook the top part of the omelet. And we're going to do that by putting it in the broiler. Right now we're letting the heat cook the bottom, and now we're going to add the ingredients back in. So as the bottom is cooking, now we can add the ham and onion mixture, which we sauteed for 5 minutes on medium-low heat. Then I'm going to add my spinach fresh like this. I'm not going to saute my spinach. Spinach cooks. We're going to keep it fresh, and it's going to cook with just the heat that's already there, that's being produced there. That way it's nice and fresh when you actually eat the frittata and it's not overcooked. Saute it first and then add it to the frittata. You're just going to get overcooked spinach, and then that's not going to be so good. Then on top of the spinach, I'm going to add tomato, my fresh yellow tomato. These are a lot of tomatoes. These are actually 2 medium-sized yellow tomatoes. Once again, these are heirloom tomatoes. They got a wonderful flavor, and I'm just going to put those on the top. Add some sweetness, some liveliness, and you just get those incredible garden flavors going on in there. I'm going to put that on the top and let that cook just a little bit. And while that's cooking, I'm going to add a bit of parsley or basil on the tomatoes. Either one. If you have basil, you can add the basil. If not, I'm going to use parsley right now. It's that time of year. If you have a garden, you can add fresh basil. And finally, I'm just going to go ahead and lay that brie right on top. Just as so. If you don't like cheese, don't add cheese. I love cheese though. You don't want to add too much cheese. Don't ever go crazy with too much cheese. It's just a flavor enhancer. It shouldn't be like super cheesy. So the bottom of this is cooked. We're going to put it right in the broiler and we're going to broil it until it's golden brown on top. So we'll be back for that in just a moment. In the broiler for about 5 to 8 minutes. You're just going to eyeball it. You want to make sure it's golden brown and bubbling. So I'm going to pull it out. Ah, there she is. Yes. She's risen a little bit. The cheese is nice and melted. We've got a nice color on top of her. Looking good. And as you can see, the spinach is cooked but not overcooked. It's got some nice color to it. It's beautiful. It looks good and presentable. You could actually serve it on the table like this after you've cut it. We have bread here, homemade bread by Chef Luke Dearda up at Bedford Post Inn. Homemade bread. We're going to serve it with blueberries. I would normally do a side salad or something like that to keep it nice and light. The toast will give you that extra carbs, grain carbs that you want, and a side salad will boost up your vitamin intake. So we have a little toast in here, which isn't quite ready. But let that get nice and golden brown. Let's see, there were some questions I was supposed to answer. What was the first question? 3 things I could change about my country. Well, obviously this is the United States, so we have issues with systemic racism. So that would be a great thing that I would, if I could have the power to change, I would change it. It's a waste of resources, it's a waste of energy, and it's just not productive in any sort of way. What superpower would I have if I had a superpower? This one I've been since I was 9 years old. I would have the power to change the molecular structure. And then a silly rumor, I think was the other question. I have no fucking clue. Normally rumors don't get back to me, so I have no clue about that one, but I'm sure it's somewhere out there. I'm sure somebody will text me one as soon as this video goes out. So we're going to go ahead and serve this, and we're going to serve it on, we're going to cut it first. So you're going to cut it just like you would a pizza. You just want to watch the knife you're using. This is a chef's knife. You don't want to dull it by pressing too hard against this cast iron skillet. Just going to cut it just like a pizza. That's the other thing about this. It will always come out nice and even in terms of presentation. You gotta make sure it rests long enough though. I don't know if this is actually rested long enough, because if it doesn't rest long enough, it will come up as a mess. There's a lot of juice in here from the tomatoes. that out. Woo, that's hot. And there you have it. Tomatoes, spinach, and ham frittata with a little brie cheese, red pepper, parsley, blueberries, and some fresh homemade bread. Thank you very much. You guys have a beautiful and wonderful day, and take care of yourselves.
Yo guys, there's no doubt the food will taste amazing. Thanks to Chris for, coming on the Nude Cuisine show to cook this delicious meal. I wasn't there to taste it, but if you cook it at your home, you're going to be the best judge for yourself. Guys, it's still the Nude Cuisine show, and there's no doubt that if you want a well-defined body, you can come to Silver Shells Fitness Center. And as I told you, it's off Malam Kasral Road, and their number is going to be right under the screen. So you can call them to buy all your gym equipment and also register here and get your well-defined body. This is your host, Kevin McCoy. Until then, we will meet next week.